And our guest is David Schemm, who is the Kansas State Director for the Farm Service Agency. We're talking CFAP 2.0. And David, we talked about the sign up. Again, the deadline is December 11th to sign up. One of the things that happened, the first one, was that not all classes of wheat were in there. And so one of the efforts that was made was to get all classes of wheat. Of course, a lot of hard winter wheat is grown right here in Kansas.
No, absolutely. A really good point. When CFAP 1 came out, they tried to address the loss of greater than 5% for that period, basically through up mid-April, Ken, to be able to assess the various commodities that had been impacted. And I know it was disappointing for some of our wheat producers out there that we didn't get wheat included in that CFAP 1, but CFAP 2 came in here, and that's addressing those losses since then. And so, through August, and so obviously that's through the heart of our wheat harvest here in the state. So that was able to come in there, and that's one of the factors. Because it is a pretty straight formula. There's three categories. There's a kind of a price trigger category. There's a flat rate category, and then there's a sales category. And so, just generally, real easy overview for producers. The flat rate is $15, and you're going to get paid either $15, or if you have the price trigger category and that's higher, then you'll get paid the price trigger. And obviously this come in here and impact those wheat producers, because some of the calculations that went into that, Ken, was how much of the percentage of the marketing year was out of the way. Well, obviously for wheat, a lot more of the marketing year was out of the way. They calculated that at 70% versus as we're coming up on corn harvest right now, that's only got about a 40% factor when that ratio is calculated out there. So absolutely a lot more of those crops got included in this, and three broad categories tried to really address all the losses that so many of our producers have had. Even our specialty crops out there, within the kind of price category, kind of addressing those producers and based upon the loss of sales they had in 19 and helping them. So very, very diverse state, but able to help as many producers as possible.
And again, there are some dollars for livestock producers, and again, there's a date kind of certain. There's a window there that they need to have those numbers. They can pick the highest day.
Right. Again, it comes back into those livestock inventory numbers. One of the things that kind of what CFAP 2, you could so to say, left out from the livestock is the breeding livestock. So, more of what it's used to address is kind of the marketing livestock there. And they were paid at the rate for at least the cattle, like that $55 rate. Obviously, with the breeding livestock, they weren't included. Some of the reasoning behind that, Ken, was just simply that breeding livestock doesn't necessarily get affected by the marketing aspect, and most of the time they're a longer retained asset. And so that was some of the thinking. The other thing that overall, this is a very robust program, and $14 billion has been allocated for it, but there still comes into cost measures and evaluating, commodities and livestock that were most impacted and trying to get those dollars to where they need to be.
Again, sign up for CFAP 2, runs through December 11th. Contact your county FSA office, the Farm Service Agency, and set an appointment and go in and see that. So, David, as always, appreciate the update. You've once again got your work cut out.
We absolutely do. We got great employees out there serving, obviously, great customers. We've been busy, but looking forward to seeing them and helping them out as best we can.
David Schemm, who is the state director for the Farm Service Agency in Kansas, has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.